All right, now this is from MLB.com. Mets electric prospect arm few saw coming. Now, before we get into this video, I need you to hit that subscribe button. I wanted to mention this a few times, is that I said this quite a few times, is that in any team, any organization, you could find a good pitcher. And you can find a prospect, a guy who just no one has sort of assumed that he's going to be anything. He gets drafted, and then all of a sudden he starts competing, and you get something rather interesting. And the Mets might have gotten this with this right-handed pitcher, Jonah Tong. During one of Jonah Tong's final starts for Single-A St. Lucie, Mets director of player development Andrew Christie was taking in the game when he received a text message from Tommy Tanos, top Mets decision-maker and well-regarded scout who was also watching live. Too good for this league was all the text read. Sure enough, within days, the Mets had promoted 20-year-old Tong to High A Brooklyn. He debuted there on Thursday with 5 sharp innings, striking out 7 while increasing his stock as one of the most intriguing lower-level arms in the minor leagues. I would mention, he's not on any rankings yet. So very, very shortly he will be. By the middle of the season, that's for sure. Quote, his stuff is outlier stuff, Christie said. When he gets in the strike zone, as you can obviously tell from his line over the first number of starts, it's electric. Guys can't touch it. That line in 5 games, 23 and 2/3 innings, 43 strikeouts, 8 walks, 9 hits, and 2 runs, 0 earned allowed. At least outside the organization, few saw this coming. At this time last year, even the most ardent Mets minor league acolytes had little knowledge of Tong. I would mention, there is a scouting report that Amazing Avenue has done, which I read on this channel, and it's part of the playlist on this channel. And if you Google Jonah Tong and scouting report, you will find me reading that scouting report. So I'm one of the few channels that knows about this kid and his arm. The right-hander has struggled in Major League Baseball 2022 draft league, showing a showcase for eligible prospects that was in its second season. But he showed enough promise for the Mets to select him in the 7th round. Even then, team decision makers didn't consider him ready for the rigors of full season ball. The organization declined to pitch him down the stretch in 2022. The following summer, Tom produced a 6.00 ERA during limited time in the rookie level Florida Complex League and a cameo for St. Lucie, walking 22 batters in 21 innings. When MLB released its top 30 prospect list in March, Tong was not included. That was largely the case throughout the industry. Then something clicked. Work with player development staffers Miguel Bonilla, Garrett Baker, Luis Alvarado, and others, Tong began improving rapidly while throwing live sides, a concept that Mets coaches use with many younger arms. The idea is for pitchers to toss live BP at less than max intensity while still trying to get hitters out. A pitcher like Tong, who throws in the mid-90s, for example, aims to be competitive while purposely topping out in the high 80s instead. Well, that's another way of saying he's learning how to pitch. Right? Another offseason passed, and when Tong reported to spring training this year, he was a different pitcher, working with a 4-pitch mix that includes a riding fastball, sharp curveball, hard slider, and changeup. Tong began throwing strikes with regularity, delivering it all from what multiple scouts described as a funky, over-the-top release point. The result was absolute domination in St. Lucie, where Tong struck out 36 and allowed just 1 unearned run over 18 2/3 innings before his promotion. He's a guy for sure, said one scout watched Tong multiple times at St. Lucie in April. He's an interesting one. To continue his development, Tong will need to refine his changeup, which isn't quite the same caliber of offering as his other 3 pitches. Otherwise, he already looks and acts the part. A native of Markham, Ontario, Tong has a likable, all-shucks demeanor away from the field, according to Christie. On it, however, Tong can be a different person, so much so that Christie and Mets Vice President of Pitching, Eric Yagers, have developed a running joke about his personality. When Tong is pitching, he's no longer Jonah Tong. He instead becomes his alter ego JT. Following a recent game at St. Lucie, Tong was conducting an on-field interview in front of fans when he accidentally dropped a colorful 4-letter word into one of his responses. As Tong sheepishly apologized, Christine Jaggers joked that JT hasn't left the building yet. Quote, he found that gear in the mound to be able to ratchet it up a little bit and obviously perform the way he has so far. It's exciting to see that, Christie said. Well, he's an exciting prospect. I mean, he's a guy that no one was expecting. And that's what's great about baseball, and really pitching in particular, is you can find pitching anywhere, and a pitcher can come out of nowhere. A pitcher can be a star. Jacob deGrom is the best example of that. A guy that wasn't expected to be anything other than a middle reliever, and he became a star. And not only star, but a two-time Cy Young Award winner and the best pitcher in baseball. So that's not necessarily gonna happen with Tong, but that's just an example of what could happen with a pitcher. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you later.